Hello, hello, hello. It is week 9 of the MDL, and I finally have a thumbnail for my videos that didn't even start coming out until halfway through the season. Anyway, we are here with our ninth week versus Ryan. I am guaranteed a wildcard spot, but Ryan is not guaranteed a playoff spot. I've got to beat him to get him out of that spot. So I can play spoiler, but generally it's kind of a meme week for me. So of course we're looking at our two teams here. He's got Heatran, Rillaboom, Togekiss, an extremely threatening tier 1 core that I think I have enough to take out, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, they've got Drifblim and Crocodile and Raikou. Raikou being a huge threat to me because I do not like running a ton of ground types, and my alternative water type is 4 times weak to electric. So I do not like that. Then we've got Surfetched, who can body my tier 1s, and a Tyrantrum that can body my Gyarados and 2 of my tier 1s. A Vaporeon that I'm not too worried about. Mime Galar that I'm not too worried about, except for against Gyarados. And Munchlax, who's just chilling in that corner there. Now, just a preview of what we're going in. These are sets that I'm not too worried about, mainly because I'm locked into my own spot. But it's just me trying to get creative with different things that I think will be fun, and different ways I think I can counter this team before I go into a generalized playoff format. So, all that being said, let's hop into my team preview. Of course, there's going to be timestamp for when that battle actually starts in one of the white spaces on the thumbnail. So yeah, I'll see you in the battle, or if you skip there. If not, we'll get into the team preview. So, starting off, we have Gyarados, Manchow, and Latias. We start with Gyarados. You might see that it's a Scarf Gyarados with max speed. Why would I have max speed on a Scarf Gyarados if I'm just gonna be like counter speeding? Well, here's the thing. Scarf Gyarados is mainly to outspeed the Raikou with its Earthquake. But I am thinking that, hey, that Togekiss might have a Scarf too. And if it has a Scarf, it can body me with Ancient Power or like Thunderbolt or something. Hit me with I don't even know. But I want to be able to outspeed that too. So I got Iron Head, Power Whip, Earthquake, Waterfall. Choice Scarf max speed, because that is 1 speed above a Choice Scarf max speed Togekiss. Now, do I need all that speed? Likely not. But I at least have a justification for dumping that much speed investment. Now, of course, I have Adamant Max Attack, 4 HP, just because. Next, we got Manchow. And this is kind of a standard fake out close combat coaching rock slide. Coaching because I kind of want to be able to set up my physical sweepers. A lot of my mons are physical, including the Gyarados. Also, by the way, I plan on maxing the Gyarados. It has a really good moveset for just taking advantage of the Rillaboom's grassy terrain, as well as being able to stack different boosts for my team with the 2 defensive boosts and Rain for future waterfalls. Also, so anyway, Manchow, Fake Out for support, Close Combat for massive damage, Coaching for support, Rock Slide to get some flinches maybe, do something. Anyway, Focus Sash because the survivability is shit. Speed is creeping something, I do not remember what, but I believe it is Raikou. It's either Raikou or whatever the base 100 speed stat mon is on this team. And then for everything basically all around, and max attack because I want to do a lot of damage. Next on to Latias. Got Ally Switch, Ice Beam, Psychic, and Shadow Ball. Now I was going to Protect instead of Ally Switch, but I decided Ally Switch was better for the support on a lot of the mons that I plan on being offensive with. Also Colbur Berry, because a Rillaboom knockoff might do a lot of damage, and that Crocodile could be a little bit threatening, I don't know. So Colbur Berry just to take advantage of knowing how they're going to super effective attack my Latias. Ice Beam is for the coverage because 2 of their T1s are weak to Ice Beam. Psychic for the raw damage, because only 1 immunity to it. And Shadow Ball for basically taking out that Drifblim. And I do not remember what else. I can check though. Yeah, Mr. Mime. So, those are those 3. And we can get on to the next 3 right now. Okay, next off we have Klefki, Aerodactyl, Incineroar. Now starting off, Klefki is Grassy Seed. Why Grassy Seed? Because it raises my defense. I don't want to get hit by a Stomping Tantrum or Earthquake or a, what's it called? High Horsepower by a Rillaboom. And Grassy Seed is going to set up +1 defense, so it's nice. I've also got Dazzling Gleam, Misty Terrain, Flash Cannon, Reflect. I have no Switcheroo tech this time because I don't really see that as a viable option. There isn't many, there's not many item-dependent strategies that this team can use. So honestly, I would rather be able to take out some of its big threats, especially that Rillaboom being hard meta. So Misty Terrain is to get rid of that grassy terrain it's got, and Reflect just to dampen those physical moves. Also, Dazzling Gleam and Flash Cannon because I want to get a lot of damage off. As you can see, I have absurd speed stats, and the reason I have that is because it just outspeeds an Adamant Max Speed Rillaboom. Why does that matter? Because I want to get an attacking move off, say, against their team before that Rillaboom goes and attacks me. Next, Aerodactyl. Life Orb, Unnerve, Rock Slide, Dual Wing Beat, Dragon Dance, Earthquake. So, this one is speed creeping, I believe, the Raikou, which was really surprising that I didn't have to put much speed investment to outspeed that Raikou. But an outspeed is an outspeed, right? We take those. I'm gonna double check that outspeed is correct, because it should be at 184. That is correct, yeah. So it's at 184. So it just outspeeds a timid max special attack, or sorry, timid max speed Raikou, which is nice because Earthquake exists. I have Dragon Dance just in case I want to get some setup going. Dual Wing Beat because it's really good coverage against that Rillaboom. And I don't remember what else I actually have. But I do know I really want to get some stuff. I want coverage all around to shut down that Rillaboom just in case I need to force my team out to something weird. And yeah, Rock Slide is Rock Slide. Of course I'm going to run it. So Aerodactyl is really my other mon I want to max, because it gets off massive damage no matter what. It can get a little bit set up before it goes, and it can just run through teams if they're not careful. Now finally, our bulky Incineroar with 108 adamant attack, 52 speed stat, and a lot of HP and defense. So just to go through this, Snarl, because I see the team actually does have a decent chunk of good special attacking mons, and I want to be able to chip that down. Flare Blitz because, well, of course I'm going to run Flare Blitz against a Rillaboom. Taunt because I don't want any massive setup going on. And Fake Out because it's Fake Out. Mind you, I'm not running a Parting Shot or a U-turn here because I have Double Intimidate. Also, I forgot to mention that I do have 52 speed because there's actually quite a few 65 base speed mons on their team, and I just want to make sure that I outspeed that by 2 in case they have like 1 speed investment for the hell of it. So I'm going to outspeed that by 2 just so I can outspeed all of those. And then I've got defense investment, a lot of HP, I don't know if I said this already, just to make sure I tank those physical hits like a champ. So we're getting into the game, and I am seeing no Rillaboom, which is super surprising, but also means no Klefki this entire game. So, other things I'm noting is Crocodile exists, and Vaporeon exists, which I was not expecting, and honestly I only have 1 move to take it out anyway, and it's on a Scarfmon. So I'm writing down all the different mons that I have, trying to think of the way I'm going to approach this. Now, a lot of my practice has led me to believe that Mienshao leads with Aerodactyl or Gyarados are the most efficient thing for me to do in this situation. So, at first I'm thinking, okay, Mienshao, Gyarados, Arrow in the back, and Latias. I don't think Incin is a good thing here because it doesn't do anything to Heatran or Togekiss or the the Crocodile. So anyway, I switch it up, and it's Mienshao and Aerodactyl lead, and Latias and Gyarados. Now, I do want to mention here, real quick, that my footage of this corrupted for the first battle. So I'm going, after turn 1, I'm going to be switching over to my opponent's POV, where we're going to be commentating the rest of the match from there. However, from game 2 and 3, spoiler, it's a 3-match series, I'm going to be talking from my own perspective. So, they lead Crocodile and Raikou. I see this, and I know I need to take out Raikou immediately. I'm not expecting anything like Shook-a-Berry. Even if it was Shook-a-Berry, I have Unnerve. And just in case it's Sash, I want to be able to break that Sash. So the only thing I can do that will break that Sash and it'll allow me to kill that Raikou before it gets any attacks off onto my Aerodactyl is Fake Out into Earthquake. Is it Earthquake? Yeah, or no, not Earthquake, Max Quake. So, Crocodile gets switched out, and I see a Togekiss. I'm wondering what sort of pivots they're trying to do here. But anyway, I'm not too worried about it because it means that my taking out of Raikou still exists. And I'm not going to be worried about Raikou going into something that's immune, even if it does live. So, Fake Out comes out. I learned later that Fake Out doesn't even matter here, or if it did live, because it has Inner Focus, and Inner Focus prevents flinching, but I get the takeout anyway, and we get the unnecessary double crit. And of course, just some special defense buffs. And they learned that I do have Life Orb. And that's where you start to see a little bit of video corruption. I'm sorry about that. But we do see Vaporeon does come out now. So, I don't know what to go for, but now we're switching over to the other POV. I don't remember exactly what I'm doing.
He's probably
at
gonna
this
rock
moment.
fall into
I'm gonna be
Togekiss.
completely honest.
I would rock fall into Togekiss here, so I'm gonna switch in Croak.
Oh yeah, I'm rock
Get
falling
another
into the
Intimidate off, kind of
Togekiss
waste
here.
that max.
I want to get some good damage
And I
off
want
onto
to.
that.
I know this
with
seems like I'm
Mienshao,
playing very defensive, but I think
I believe I'm
an
going for a
endgame
rock slide just to
Vaporeon,
confirm the kill. The Togekiss switches out
endgame,
into the Crocodile, as we see.
where I can get my max ahead of this.
And of
would be
course,
very
now Aerodactyl is
beneficial,
-2.
because I do think
So not much damage is going to come
Togekiss
off.
has pretty big potential.
If a Vaporeon goes for
Because I would
Protect
close
here,
combat and I would Quake.
so not much damage.
I would
There's
rock
no
fall.
damage going off into that. So really, we're just doubling into the Crocodile slot here. Now that does a decent chunk,
Maybe
but
Poison Jab if
definitely
you're feeling
not as
thirsty.
much as we would have liked after the double Intimidate drops. And of course, Rock Slide does come
Rock
out.
slide. Okay. I could have
A little bit more
scalded
chip
there.
on the
then. That's
Crocodile.
good to know.
Overall, not a
However, if
great
it was
turn
Sash,
for
he
me.
did just
However,
break
they
his
didn't
own
get much
Sash.
off either, so I don't feel bad about it. Now in this position,
So the big problem here is
I kind
Vaporeon
of just want
is
to
that
get some good
Mienshao
damage off
outspeeds,
onto Crook.
and I am
So-
Assault Vest.
I think
And I
I'm
do
gonna
think I
close
need to
combat
scribble
into the
lines,
Crook slot.
so I
because I'm
actually think I
expecting
have to
Crocodile's going to stay.
Togekiss
But now we
here,
see, of course, it's going to double switch.
and I think
And
I
with
have to
Aerodactyl,
Scald.
I think I just want to
Mienshao,
get.
'cause it's the
I
problem.
know it's my last turn at Dynamax, so I'm going to try to get some
'Cause
boost
I'm
off
AV, so I
onto
can't protect. If
my
I could protect,
Mienshao.
this would actually be a very easy turn.
So I go for the max air into the Vaporeon slot just to double,
Airstream
just to make
into
sure that I get
Vaporeon
it
slot.
off with
Makes
some
sense.
decent
Perfect.
damage.
Well, you can't. This is max HP both, though, so we should limit
So
it.
Chip comes out into Vaporeon.
Okay, this is a
And
weird ass
Mienshao
game.
uses close combat into
Close
the
combat
Togekiss
to
slot.
Kiss, good.
Gets the defense debuffs.
Kiss eats it.
So now, of course, Vaporeon uses Scald into the Mienshao slot. And it takes out
Good damage. Can I get a
down
burn?
pretty
Fuck.
low, but
Okay,
more importantly,
I needed that
it
burn.
burned with Mienshao. So now Mienshao is kind of worthless. to my
Okay, we're not
team.
in a terrible spot. We're not in a good spot, but we're not in the worst spot because now we have.
So I'm
max
going
damage.
to basically just keep it in and let it die, so I don't deal with
He did get a lot of damage off of that.
what's it? Don't deal with anything taking damage in its slot. Because I know it's not getting value, but I'd rather not lose value on my other mons by switching it out. So I believe what I go for
Get
here
the
is a Rock
Protect
Slide,
here and Scald.
and
the
I switch out my
Aerodactyl.
Aerodactyl because there's so many like attack nerfs onto it that I don't really want it in at this point. I don't find value in it.
Because I don't want Kiss.
So I
to
don't
die
remember what I
before
switched
Rock
in
Slide
for
or
Aerodactyl.
Stone
I
Edge,
believe
Rock
it is
Slide, Rock Slide.
Latias. Which in hindsight
If
is
I can
kind of
kill
a
Aerodactyl,
bad
it's
idea,
good.
or rather an
I think
unsafe
he
idea
chooses the
in case I get
Nightmare
ice beamed into. But at that time I didn't know that they had ice beam
Okay,
in
so
the
he does
first
switch
place.
Aerodactyl out, which is fine, into Latias. Oh, I almost Starfall that slot. That would have been so good.
Of course, so he just comes out. I'm not feeling bad about that because I didn't really target straight into it. Mienshao close combat. I like close combat into Vaporeon. So I know that's going to be the most value I'm going to get out of my Mienshao. And Skull comes out onto the Latias slot.
Okay, I'm gonna
And
be
I'm
honest.
not feeling bad about that.
Switching that out
The only
was
thing I'm really
definitely
disappointed is the
like,
fact that
a
Mienshao
correct
didn't die
play.
at that turn.
because you're
So that's
expecting
okay,
me to
because
target
it's
that
one more
down,
turn
But now I
of
think I can max Kiss
Getting
and click
some
Starfall into that
nice
slot
chip.
free.
with my Latias before I can really do some damage with my Aerodactyl again. But now we're seeing
I'm gonna
that
Starfall
Togekiss
that.
is going to max, and they're going to Scald into the Mienshao slot. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just try targeting down that, get as much damage off as possible onto that Togekiss with an Ice Beam.
Weird brings, guys.
So we're going to see that first thing. And my goal here is really just to,
Yeah, I was not expecting
The
this. I'm glad I brought the
damage is
Bonsai
as
Kid,
much as
because otherwise I
possible
wouldn't,
with my
I
Latias
wouldn't have been able to stall
before it
max
goes down.
that.
use my move. I have stuff for Crocodile in the back.
Okay, Rock Slide
I have stuff
out.
to take care of Togekiss.
They don't take much off that.
I have, as long as
Ice
I'm able to
Beam comes
dedicate
out,
something to the
Togekiss eats it
Vaporeon
fine.
to get it down, I don't feel
Oh
bad.
my
But here,
God.
Togekiss gets frozen. I feel really bad about that because
I am
it
bewildered.
saves my differential at this point. Of course, Mienshao
And now he
gets
gets
out,
Aerodactyl.
I re-switch into Aerodactyl again.
Holy
just to make sure
moly.
that I can outspeed. Now,
I guess God
would
said you don't get to
use
win this game.
my
so,
Gyarados that's in the back. However, I didn't want to be locked into a move I didn't want to be using. So of course, Aerodactyl was my
kidding me?
choice.
I played that endgame. Oh my god.
What I believe what I do here is I Rock Slide.
I have
And
Flare.
then
I don't know if Flare gets me out.
Just in
but
case
we'll
Rock
find
Slide
out.
doesn't kill Togekiss, because I don't know what its defense buff
I just yawn the Aerodactyl.
defense investment is.
Because Latias
I
died.
use a,
Oh my god.
I believe, I use a Psychic into that slot.
Vaporeon dodges, but Kiss doesn't. Kiss
So anyway,
goes down.
Togekiss goes down, Psychic will go into the
That is
Vaporeon
such
now.
nonsense. Oh my god. I think Vaporeon goes down.
And that will take it down
Just lose.
and leave just Crocodile on the other side,
Well, Crocodile.
which I know
I mean, it's Ice
I
Beam
can
on
do
the
some pretty solid work too with.
the one mon, so
Latias'
I don't die
Ice
'cause
Beam.
I have AB.
I'm not sure how much
So
it's
my
gonna
play
do.
is to Rock
So on
Slide.
my Aerodactyl slot, I go for a Rock Slide
Players
just in
to
case I
Rock
can
Slide.
flinch out
Aerodactyl
any
slot, I
potential
think.
move. Also, I don't want to reveal more of my
Well,
set,
just Rock Slide.
such as the Earthquake.
What in the hell? Okay.
But of course, I'm still making this decision because I know I am in winning territory.
It's -1.
So I get the Rock Slide off, just a little bit of ship. It goes under half, and Latias gets the Ice Beam off and kills. That's gonna do it for game 1. And going into game 2, I'm feeling good about
Okay.
this. I feel like I have a lot more flexibility here to play aggressive. Something Mienshao Gyarados is how I'm gonna lead. Actually, no, Gyarados Latias is how I'm gonna lead. I know that's leading Gyarados. I'm choosing Latias here, I believe, so I can get some nice damage off onto, I believe, Togekiss, yeah. But I wanted to still have Mienshao in the back. The fatal flaw here was the fact that I have Mienshao in the back. Mienshao's always a lead. I should never not lead Mienshao here. But yeah, crucial mistake on my part. But what does happen is that I reveal that I am bringing Gyarados here. Of course, I'm still bringing the same I'm still bringing the same 4 mons that I did last time. However, changing up the order so I can be more aggressive with it. Of course, I wasn't the most aggressive. It's the most aggressive order, however, it's not the most efficient order on an aggressive scale. It was overly aggressive, I guess. So, that's going to be one of the flaws that go into this game. And of course, because I spoiled earlier, it's a game 3. I'm going to be going more into how I lost this one. So Ryan takes to the very end to pick, as he should, because he just lost one, he wants to make sure he wins. And Heatran Togekiss is the lead. I'm seeing this. I'm like, oh, that's an easy max wake into the Heatran slot. 100%. I think also what I was doing at this point is trying to see if Togekiss is the only ground immunity. Because if it is, easy max quake into the Heatran slot. If it's not, then there's an issue. But Togekiss is the only immunity, so I believe I go for the max quake into the Heatran slot. And as for Latias, I believe what I wanted to do is just get some fear into their hearts, so I go for an ally switch. What do I do? Okay, so I don't max here. Okay. That's fine, because it's still a single target anyway, and that's good for me, but I'm also choice locking myself into the Earthquake here. So anyway, all that switch comes out. And all for naught, anyway. Because it's like an Earthquake off onto Vaporeon. It does basically nothing, and a Dazzling comes out. And so, that was a very inefficient turn for me, but it still gets the fear to their hearts. Into their heart, yeah. So Latias, funny HP, right? Anyway, I think I'm just gonna get some good Togekiss damage. And I'm gonna max and try damaging that Togekiss again. Yeah, I'm just trying to take out the Togekiss here at this point. But honestly, what I should have done is to realize that the Vaporeon is there for a reason. And though I didn't see much of it last round, all I ever saw was the Protect and the Scald, I should know that it's going to do more than that if it's going to be on this field. And obviously we see Togekiss protects, good on them, because they know exactly what my target priorities are going to be. Wasted turn for Latias, wasted turn for Gyarados, except the Berry is revealed at this point. What I will say, from this game, I learned a lot more than I actually showed with my gameplay. I was able to get a lot of good notes on their team that I wasn't able to get from the first round Stomp, where I kind of hacked them out of all the different techs that they could have done. And there's the yawn onto Gyarados. Gyarados yawn. At this point, I'm thinking, it's week 9. I'm in the wildcard slot. And maybe just to meme around a little bit, I'm just gonna keep Gyarados in. There's no reason to lose value on my other mons, so I'm just gonna try keeping Gyarados in as long as possible, right? I don't even remember what I wasn't paying attention to what I just did there. But probably wasn't a good move. I think I did the same thing. And of course, Togekiss comes out. Because now they know that Togekiss is going to be the prime target. And of course, Ice Beam into Heatran again. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Overgrowth into Vaporeon, because now I know that Vaporeon is going to do some work with Leon. I don't want to have to deal with that, especially with 2 Mons. And I don't have 2 Mons, but I know that if they keep around Vaporeon long enough, that Yang can do some massive work. So, Berry is revealed. That's written down in the notes. Ice Beam takes the kill onto, or doesn't take the kill onto Latias, actually. Very surprising to me. It's a very weird turn, but yeah, Gyarados is asleep. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna get the most damage off as possible with this Latias. There's no... I checked my monster because I wanted to see how much value I'm gonna get out of Latias compared to the relative value I can get from my other mons. So I'm like, okay, I can just get some raw damage off. See how much I can do with this Gyarados. So Togekiss comes in, and I think, okay, that's good, raw damage off to Togekiss. And then Heatran reveals reveals Scarf. Now at this point, Scarf Heatran is concerning, but also I know that Scarf Gyarados is going to outspeed it. I don't feel too bad about Heatran, I just know that Gyarados is going to be my dedicated kill option. Now Aerodactyl's in. And I really don't know what to do here. But also, what else could I do? My mons are Aerodactyl and Mienshao. Mienshao would kind of just died, but I probably should have brought in Mienshao there, now that I think about it. Really, I'm just trying to get as much damage off as possible onto that Heatran before too much happens. But nice Togekiss comes in, and now we're seeing apologies. Now we're seeing the true value of this max Togekiss. Now, Gyarados wakes up turn 2, which is nice for me. Also, that complete bop on the Heatran kind of exists. But also we know that Flash Cannon kills Aerodactyl. That's a total waste of an Aerodactyl switch. Probably should have just been, I don't know. Mienshao would have lived because of Sash. Killed Heatran. And created a better win con. Because then I would have had Aerodactyl and Mienshao. Full HP Aerodactyl, mind you. And Mienshao. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have won this game anyway. But Mienshao exists. They can just double into it, right? And actually, I'm taking so long to pick Mienshao here because actually my controller died. And I had to go grab my Joy-Cons off my Switch console. I know, that sounds stupid, but that's exactly what took me so long. I'm like, well, I can't win this, so I'm gonna play for differential, right? Try to get the kill off onto the Heatran. And of course, Heatran switches out because they don't want me to get the differential. Raikou comes in. And of course, I can't kill with the close combat because Raikou has just enough bulk so it can live. But now I know that Raikou cannot speed me. Togekiss can't, but Raikou can. And this is going to tell me how much speed investment the Raikou has. So of course, I'm just going to go for old reliable close combat into the Raikou, see how much damage it's going to do. And we get 100% accuracy Thunderbolt, correct play by them. And I lose this one 0-4. Now, going to the third match, Mienshao didn't do much there. And I kind of know the gimmick of Mienshao at that point. So first off, I'm trying to see, how am I going to prevent Yawn? Looking at the Clutch set, I don't have anything to prevent Yawn, and they don't have enough physical attackers for me to warrant using Reflect. And of course, I'm realizing Mienshao isn't worth much. Well, first off, I try going for a Mienshao lead. I'm like, okay, yeah, Mienshao lead is how it works. But that Vaporeon is still in the back of my mind. Right? So, I check Incineroar here. I believe that's what I'm gonna do. Checking Incineroar. I'm just trying to see what value I can get out of it. Snarl, ton of special attackers, right? Fake out, it's great tech. And of course, Taunt, because I can taunt out that, whatever it is. So, Mienshao's left in the back. And 20 seconds remaining. I'm feeling good about this. Of course, I don't have the setup I can get. I don't have coaching options. So that doesn't really matter to me. Right? So what I'm seeing I can do at this point is I'm seeing Vaporeon and Togekiss. So at this point I'm saying, okay, Togekiss can max, so I'm gonna fake out into Vaporeon. And why not just get some good old damage off onto Togekiss? So I believe after these Intimidate drops happen, I believe what I use is Iron Head onto the Togekiss, fake out onto the Vaporeon. Now mind you, I played slightly dumb here. And coming into next turn, I just want to get some context to that. I was playing slightly dumb because I forgot Vaporeon had Yawn. And if he sees that Gyarados is on the field, Gyarados can probably max, and that's a free Yawn target. So, what I do here isn't the most optimal play, or what I do next turn is the most optimal play. Honestly, there was just nothing I could really talk about this first one. So we're seeing Togekiss Max, obviously, as predicted. They get on to the Vaporeon. Iron Head into the Bombiri Berry to break it. And Starfall into the Incin. Incin is low. What I'm seeing here is that Incin doesn't get much value against the other team. Anyway, I determined this pre-game 1. But I do know that it's done just enough at this point. It's done its entry shenanigans, entry support shenanigans, so I can let it die. I'm gonna keep it in. And I'm thinking, okay, why don't I get some nice little damage off into Togekiss? I can max it, it'll be nice. Completely ignoring the fact that there's a Vaporeon there. You know, if I did attack into it, it wouldn't have killed because window. But what I should have done is just Iron Head into Togekiss again. Why I decided to max there is beyond me. Oh, actually, what I decided to do is I maxed because I didn't want to get killed by a Starfall. That's it. So it was max, Gyarados gets hit, doesn't die, and I can get some nice damage, or Incin gets hit, there's a kill, but there's no snarl damage. So Incin gets hit. Not their most optimal play, but also they kind of want to waste out my Dynamax, right? So I see it. They're gonna yawn into my Gyarados, and I'm like, okay. I could bring an Aerodactyl here, but Aerodactyl can just get blown up. There's not much value. So I think I want to go for Latias, right? I believe that's what I want to do. I do go for Aerodactyl here. Oh yeah, because Togekiss is slow, I can get the free Rock Slide out. So I go Aerodactyl to get the free Rock Slide out. I'm like, why should I have Gyarados in? I lost last game because Gyarados was asleep. I don't want to have that happen. So, free Rock Slide, switch into Latias. I know it wastes my Dynamax. I know you want to get max value out of Dynamax as possible, but at this point, I'm cutting my losses. And playing how I want to play at this point. Again, not the most optimal position, but I'm doing the most optimal thing possible. So, Rock Slide comes out, doesn't get anything into Togekiss, but Vaporeon gets hit, not much damage, obviously. And a Scald comes out onto the Aerodactyl slot. And what is it? A burn. Shoot. Aerodactyl's not going to get much value at this point. So I'm thinking, well, if Aerodactyl's not going to get much value, to get as much off as possible. Why do I have Ally Switch there? I know I was thinking it because I want to get much. Anyway, Ally Switch just to make sure Aerodactyl doesn't die, I guess. I don't understand that play. However, I didn't want to. I think what I wanted to do is make sure Aerodactyl died if there was an Ice Beam into the Latias slot. I'm not entirely sure because I played this game over an hour ago. And of course, footage corrupted. Yeah, you know. It's now 9 o'clock at night. There's a lot happening, you know. So, Ally Switch. So, if anyone dies, it's going to be the Aerodactyl. Rock Slide comes out. Does it flinch? It flinches. Which didn't really matter anyway. I believe it was Scald into the Aerodactyl slot. So now, Gyarados comes in. And I'm seeing, well, as long as I can keep my Latias alive, I should be fine. What is it? Yeah, it's 4-2. 4-2. Oh lord. Anyway, minor corruption. So I believe what I go for here is an Earthquake, and I go for the Psychic off onto the Vaporeon slide. Because I want to make sure the Vaporeon dies. I don't want to get any yawns. Is that what happens? I thought that's what happens. No, I Shadow Balled into the Heatran spot just in case, because I remember it didn't die to the Earthquake last time. That's what it was. It dies to the Earthquake this time, and the Shadow Ball goes off into Vaporeon. That's it. Sorry for any mic muffling there. So anyway, Raikou comes out. More value for Earthquake, obviously. But I do know that Gyarados is going to go down, and I want to get the kill off at least onto the Vaporeon because Yawn is going to kill my end game. I want to make sure Vaporeon goes down before anything else bad happens, right? Now, they make a mistake here. They forget, or they realize later, that if they kill Latias and make it only against Gyarados, Gyarados is locked into Earthquake. So, what are they gonna do? So, they could have played that a little bit better to single out my Latias instead. But I don't know what they would have done to single out the Latias. I'm gonna be completely honest. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how they could have done it. The only guaranteed kill there was against the Gyarados. They just had to Thunder Wave and hope, essentially. So I'm Psychicking the Togekiss here. Because Togekiss has Dazzling Gleam. I know Dazzling Gleam is going to be what does the most damage out of these two. I know that Raikou could have a Shadow Ball, but I don't know that for sure. So I want to go against what's guaranteed to do a lot of damage, and that's the Togekiss. So I'm paralyzed here, which means I can get hacked out of this game. However, it's not guaranteed. So as long as I don't die to a Thunderbolt, they don't have Shadow Ball, and I don't get full parried, I win. Thunderbolt comes out, not Shadow Ball, good. I don't die to it. I believe that did more than half, so if I full parried I would have lost. But I don't full para, and Raikou's down. That's the game. GG's.